it is. What's happening? So I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a video on the channel. It seemed like I disappeared for a minute. Don't worry, I haven't. I had some problems. Most of my videos are done on my phone, and my phone did an update, and I've had problems with uploading videos. I actually did 2, and for some reason it lost them. And then I did a major job switch with my day job. As some of you know me personally know, I've worked at a car lot as the lead mechanic and run the shop for the last 11 years. But I recently moved to not recently, a year ago, moved to the beach, and I've been traveling 46 miles one way, 46 miles the other way. And I just had enough of it. Can't get anything done in the shop at night. It's real hard to stay on top of my own projects, let alone side work, which helps pay for this junk. So I did a major job switch, and I've been kind of concentrating on that, and that's working out really well so far. I like it. Just back to working in the shop like always. But that brings us up to date as of what's going on with projects. Well, you guys that have been following the J10 Jeep 20 project, as you know, this was a J10 that I'm putting J20 rears, and I took the bed off of J20, which the beds are all the same. It's back in the shop. Wow. And the bed's on it. We're moving forward. Something I learned about this thing, so this originally was a J10, which had a small Dana 44 in the rear. Now that I'm using all the stuff off the J20, it has a Dana 60 in the rear. I found out the dry shaft is an inch too long. But that was okay because I still had the dry shaft from the J20. So, switch to dry shafts, and today I have the 8-lug Dana 44 hanging off the back of the wrecker because I burned it out of what's left of the truck. So the plan is to get the front rear underneath of this turd and finally wrap this thing up. At least get it to the point of where it runs and drives again under its own power. Lights working. Hopefully get some tags on it. So I thought I'd show what she's going to look like. Those are the wheels we're going to run. I have a full set of these with 33 1250 16.5 aluminum slots, which I think will look super cool. Period correct for something of its nature. As far as paint, a couple people asked me if I'm going to paint this truck. That is like the furthest thing from my mind. We will be making some repairs to what little bit of rust. It does have a little here, a very small spot up there, and about the identical on the other side. Actually, less on the other side. I'm going to be making some repairs to that. It's got a little tiny bit of blistering there, and I just put my finger through that like a dummy. But it's going to have to be fixed. So I have an idea how I'm going to repair this. Because you can't get to the inside of this bed, because the way the bed is made, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut access holes in the flat side all the way around. I'm going to make 4 access holes. I'll make my repairs from the inside. That way I can get in there and clean all the garbage out and paint inside the bed with my Master Coat Silver paint, which, if you guys know, that's my go-to for rust paint. I'm going to make these panels so they're removable. Now, somebody might say, why not just weld them from the outside and do my body work? That's fine. But everywhere you weld, it's going to be bare metal on the inside. You can't get to the inside of the bed unless you make some kind of access panel. So I came up with the idea of making an access panel on all 4 corners. That way I can get inside, I can treat the inside of the bed, because these beds rust from the inside out, not from the outside in. They're rust from the inside out. It's kind of a crappy design, the way it's made. They put I believe how they're built, and if you look at them, this is how I think they're put together. Just from the other rusty bed that I took off of this truck, I think how they're built is the floor runs all the way to the seam, all the way across. I think this piece is tack welded to this piece, which is all part of the floor. You can't access any of this area at all. So if I make an access hole, I'll be able to get in there, I'll be able to put some paint along the seam on the inside, and hopefully it'll stop the rust, at least as long as I own it. I just want to do what repair I do, I want the repair to last. So that's what I came up with in my mind, how I'm going to repair that. Right now, Still got the half-ton front suspension under it with the half-ton leaf springs. I'm getting ready to cut all that out. I just set the lift under it to make it sit level so you can kind of get an idea of how the truck is actually going to sit when it's done. It's about a 4-inch lift. I got 4-inch blocks in the back, and I got a set of ad leaves if I need them. The beds on these trucks are extremely heavy. The rear bumper that I've got for this truck is extremely heavy. So I'm a little worried that once I get the front lifted, it might sit a little low in the rear. So I bought a set of ad leaves just in case. So right now, I've got the rear loosely bolted, the rear loosely bolted in so I can get an idea where it's going to sit. Now I do have a set of old school traction bars that I'd like to run, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make them work. I don't know if you can see them down here. But I've got a set of old school ladder bars. I think you can make them out right there. There's a set of L&L ladder bars. They're really for like a Ford truck. I've had them for years. And I just would like to run them if I could, since I'm going to have a block in this thing. What wheeling this truck's probably going to do, honestly, is probably going to be just the beach. I really don't think we're going to do much more with this thing. Probably just put a beach tag on it, put a winch on it, and use it to go surf fishing, go out and ride around on the beach. That's probably what we're going to do with this truck. She's probably going to drive it more than I will because she's into the Jeeps. But I wanted to give an update of what's going on in the shop and let the guys see the progress of said Jeep project because it had kind of stalled there for a while. I hadn't really done much with it. But last night I set the bed on it. The bed's been sitting out there alongside the carport for the last 6 months. And I finally just got tired of looking at it sitting in my yard. I come home, when I come down the street, I'm like, it just looks like trash, bed laying in the ground. So I went ahead and stuck it on the truck. So today's plan is to get that Dana 44 out here on the wrecker, get it prepped and ready to go in the truck. All I'm going to do to it is, for right now, all I'm really concerned with is I'm just going to take a wire wheel to it, knock all the loose stuff off. I burned it out of the other truck, so I just cut the leaf springs. So I got to get the leaf springs off. I actually just got all the U-bolts loose. The old shocks, so I can throw that stuff in the trash, get the rear ready to roll under the truck. Go out to the parts truck out back and knock out the front leaf springs in it because it's got 4-inch front leaf springs in it. Knock those springs out because they're going to go under this. And then I can bolt the rear in it. And then we can put these awesome aluminum slots on it, which are going to look, I think it's going to look killer. As far as the rust repair in the bed, I'm not even concerned with doing that right now. That is, we'll probably take care of that in the spring. Right now, the main concern is get all the brakes on it. We've already done all of our brake lines. I need to do the wheel cylinders and rear shoes. I need to order 2 emergency brake cables because I don't have them. Front brakes for right now, all we're going to do is new hoses. Those bleeders work on the calipers that are on the front rear. We're just going to bleed them out for right now because all I'm going to do is get the brakes working. Eventually, we're going to bring it back in the shop. It's going to get on the U-joints, ball joints, repack the bearings, cut the rotors, and new pads then. But for right now, for right this second, we just want to bleed the system out, get the system working, and get it to where it runs and dries and stops on its own. So we can, because we still got to do exhaust on this truck, still got to put a gas tank back in it. We're going to run a full brand new exhaust system from the manifolds back, duals. Reason being is we're lifting this truck and the front drive shaft is, with the truck sitting the way it is right now, the front drive shaft's on the front wide pipe. So we have to do something with the exhaust. So I'm going to just put duals on it right from the get-go. I'm not going to fool with it. That's kind of what I want anyway. So we'll bring you along. We're back in action. So look, holla at your boy. Keeps it reals. It's a beautiful day today. It's nice and warm. And yes, I have not done, I finally came up with a solution for our insulation for the ceiling, finally. I really probably should be working on that today, but, you know, we'll wait till it's like below 0 to work on that project. Instead, we'll fool with some rusty piece of junk that we're not even going to drive today. Holla at your boy. Keeps it reals. Catch me on the next one.